going to go team by team, and I'm going to make all the selections for all the teams, like I've done before. Just sit back, enjoy, make sure you guys hit the chat. Let me know what you guys think of my selections. And tell me who you think you would go with on a particular team. So definitely, keep in tune with me. Let me know, and let's get let's get it. So all right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up the share the screen and then bring up the mock draft simulator. I actually have PFF available this time, so I'll be able to utilize PFF, and we'll be able to see all these selections that are there. So let me just move this out of the way. Okay, so, but if you're new to before I start all that, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notifications so you know when I uh, post new content. And everyone, please like and share on all your social media platforms. I thank you all my sponsors. Thanks for being there for me. Shadow Worlds, Radio, League of All Leagues, Football, League of All League Alliance, Get Out Travels, and Wise Consultants. So right now, Carolina, the Carolina Panthers are on the clock. What's up, normal guy? Thanks for tuning in. Starting the draft, and right now, the Carolina Panthers are going to be on the clock. And just setting that up right now. All right, so Carolina's on the clock. Um, Basically, it's stating that they need a wide quarterback, wide receiver, and edge rusher. Um, Pretty much, they need quite a few other needs, but those are the most pressing. New coach coming into town. They do have some good talent there. They've traded up to get the number one selection, trading away one of their top one of their top wide receivers, but with everything the way it's going, you're looking at quarterbacks Bryce Young. So let's bring up all the quarterbacks. So we have Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson. Those are the four I'm going to focus on right now. We know that Bryce Young, what he brings to the table. When we look at him, his height. Some will question his height. First looks at around 5'10", 204. He says he's a flat out playmaker, the best playmaker at the quarterback position in the draft class. He can get you a bucket. Earned a 92.2 grade in 2021 when he won the Heisman, and followed it up with a 91.5 in 2022. He has a creative mindset we're seeing take over the NFL at quarterback. He's good in structure, but when Young breaks the pocket, he's capable of special plays. So I'm just going to look at Young there. And now let's take a look at CJ Stroud. So when we get a first look at Stroud, 6'3", 214, put a stamp on his college tenure in a big way with the second highest graded game of his career against Georgia in the college football playoff. He has the accuracy and the anticipation to thrive in the NFL. Um, our charting data would say Stroud is the most accurate quarterback in this class, although having a lot of wide open receivers can skew that a little bit. Almost never misses layups and errs on the safe side with misses. What's up, Jesus Martinez? Thanks for tuning in. Um, do I think Stroud failed the test on purpose? Uh, no, I mean, I don't think it's a purposeful thing. What's up, Jeff? In terms of the test, but right now there's teams that look into it, and there's teams that don't. So Now getting back to the draft, with Carolina, we could look at a possible trade. Realistically, to be honest with you, I'm going to play with it just to see, you know, and let me see if I can get a first round for next year. Oh, what's up, halftime? That's interesting. That if they decide to trade at Indianapolis, you can get a future number one as well as two draft picks. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Uh, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not even gonna take that chance. So it doesn't make sense um, to make that trade. I mean, I get it, I understand, but I think it's this draft simulator. I mean, hmm, it's very intriguing right now. I mean, it kind of has me stumped, like because they're only going back to four, but then again, you're going to miss out on Young and Stroud if that's the case. So I don't know. Hmm, this is very interesting. What do you guys think? Stroud failed the Wonderlic test. That's what I'm hearing, Jeff. That he did fail the test. So I mean, I'm not really sure. But again, for me, it's not that big of a it's not an end all to be all. Let me just put it like that. So, because we've seen guys fail the test but go on to have great careers. So, if anyone wants to join, just let me know. Um, I did have it in the I did have it in the chat before, so but I'll send it back out. I'll even send you guys the link personally. Setting it back up right now. Yeah, Jeff, I'm with you. It's really not that big of a deal. So, but let me just go ahead and put this in the chat. If anybody wants to join, I know I'm a little bit long on this, so there you go. If anybody wants to join, there's the link to the show. Sorry about that. Hit the wrong thing. So basically, I'm still thinking about it, but no, I'm not going to go with that. It makes sense for Carolina after doing all the trading that they did, sitting at this spot. So right now, I'm going to go with Bryce Young as the number one overall pick, and with the first pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Bryce Young, quarterback out of Alabama. Next on the clock is the Houston Texans. So they need pretty much everything if you want to, really, they need a plethora of stuff. Quarterback, wide receiver, center. Now they do have Pierce as a running back. You do have a new head coach. He's a defensive minded coach. So do they want to go with the do they want to go with a defensive minded coach? Do they want to go with defense, being that they have a defensive minded coach? I mean, right there is Jalen Carter and Will Anderson and Devin Witherspoon based on PFF rankings. I mean, I have Carter as my number one overall player. So for me, it makes a whole lot of sense, to go to the defensive side. But I also understand that you need a quarterback. They do need a quarterback over there too. So, and the head coach is going to be lined with whoever is this quarterback. So, do you want to go with C.J. Stroud? I mean, or here's a wild card. Do you want to go with Anthony Richardson? I mean, that's an intriguing one to go with in itself. I mean, when we bring up the information and get a first look at Richardson, 6'4", 244 pounds. I mean, that's a big man right there. Um, Richardson oozes ability. His highlight reel from his lone season as a starter rivals any you'll see from a college prospect. He's still a project, though, and finished with an 80.1 overall grade this past season. Richardson has one of the best combinations of arm strength, size, and running ability of any quarterback prospect in the PFF college era. Although he needs serious improvement as a passer, his rushing ability gives him a high floor. I mean, that's one thing that I do know, and I do believe that you know what with Richardson in the future, he could end up if he gets the passing down, his accuracy in the mid and the intermediate areas. Um, he could end up being the best of them all. But right now, does a new head coach want to go with a developmental like that? Because you can bring Stroud in and pretty much go with him. So, and sitting here, do you want to go with the defensive guy? Chase Young is playing for getting his. Oh yeah, he didn't get his fifth-year option. Yeah, you're right, Jesus. But in thinking about it here, I just think the best move is going with C.J. Stroud. So with that being said, the card I'm going to go ahead and send in with Stroud. So with the number 2 pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select quarterback C.J. Stroud out of Ohio State. Next on the clock is the Arizona Cardinals. Now, this is where it really gets tricky. Do the Cardinals want to trade? You have the Lions who are at 6 who want to trade up. I mean, the Lions, when you look at it, they need a defensive line because the guard and the center position, right now there's no one worth looking at right now. So they want to trade, and I understand why they want to trade because you're looking at Jalen Carter, really. Maybe even Will Anderson. I mean, he is a player that you might want to take a look at. And at first look, 6'3", 253. Anderson had as productive a 3-year career as we've seen from a defensive lineman. Picked up 207 pressures over that span. He's an explosive and a fluid 6'4". They say 243, but 253 blue chip edge. It's a deadly combination. You won't find too many edge rushers who can match him in both. And ones, who edge rushers who can match him in both. And the ones who can are elite players at that position. Caught me for a second. The Bears are most likely to trade up. I got you, Nikki. I mean, I was just going based off of this. I mean, if we look at all the teams, it does say the Packers. I mean, it's not given the Bears and the Raiders. I mean, the Bears. I mean, I get it. Would they trade back up to 3 after making the trade with what they got from? I mean, that's a good thought. But based on this, it says the Lions. So I'm just gonna see. So, do we want to do this if we're the Detroit Lions? Personally speaking, looking at the draft board though, the only team that Detroit could be look concerned with. I'm sorry, I looked at Seattle before. It was Detroit. Detroit needs a wide receiver, tight end, and defensive lineman. So, still, do they want to go with Carter? That's really who it is. So, and if Arizona trades back, I mean, they themselves need guard, defensive line, and cornerback. So they will miss out, but you can still get cornerbacks later on at the 6th pick. So if I'm them with this offer, guess what? I'm making the trade. So the trade has been accepted. Now Detroit is on the clock. And basically with that, I'm going to go ahead and send the card in for defensive lineman, Jalen Carter. So with the number 3 pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions trade with the Arizona Cardinals and they will select defensive lineman Jalen Carter, Georgia. Next on the clock are the Indianapolis Colts. Colts need quarterback, wide receiver, offensive line, and quarterback. So there's a lot here. They can get their cornerback. He's right there. But you also have Will Levis, and you also have Anthony Richardson. All indications have alluded to Richardson. Yes, I know there's reports now Levis has bumped up to number two in a lot of eyes of in the NFL, but I think Richardson has the more upside, and he would be probably better, more productive. I think with Indianapolis bringing back Jonathan Taylor, coming back from injury, he definitely would help because and plus with Richardson's running ability and his size, he would actually add to that offense, and he would actually get the tutelage that he needs to help develop his passing game. Um, would Indianapolis entertain a trade? Let's see. There's Philly and the Commanders going back to 10 and 16. Personally speaking, I don't think it's worth it. So I'm going to nix that, and I'm going to look at the quarterback position. And realistically, I'm going to go ahead and send the card in to the commissioner for Anthony Richardson. So with the number 4 pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select quarterback Anthony Richardson from Florida. Next on the clock are the Seattle Seahawks. Now, the Seahawks, their need, as I spoke to earlier, are interior offensive line and defensive linemen. Now, you have Will Anderson sitting right there. He would be phenomenal with their defense. Seattle also has 2 picks, so they also have the number 20 pick. So that'll be, somewhere that you might consider the interior line. So, but let's see what the trades say. Vegas wants to trade up pretty much 2 spots because they're looking at quarterback. So realistically, Vegas, I can't see trading up because Arizona is not going to take a quarterback. Now, are they worried about somebody else jumping up? Now, that could be a possibility. Let's see what other teams need quarterbacks. Is is it the Falcons? Possibly. What about no? What about the Packers? No. Sorry about that. Washington, will Washington trade all the way up? Are they on this trade list right here? Washington is there, so there is that possibility. So, Seattle, do you trade? Guess what? Will Anderson, Seattle will help them a lot. I agree. And I'm looking. So, yeah, you know what? You're making a good point next shift because Arizona does need defensive linemen. So, would it be defensive lineman or quarterback? Um, and you got, thank you. You made a great point. I'm not going to lose that opportunity. Yes, you do have Will. You have Nolan Smith later. Oh, and I still have Tyree when I pull up the edges. Let's take a look at the edges. When we pull up the edges, here we go. Yeah, Anderson, Wilson, Nolan Smith, Miles Murphy, Van Ness, Tyree Wilson. Yeah, but make a good point. He would help them a lot. So you sold me next shift. So guess what? That's what we're going to do. Thank you, brother. We're going to go ahead and send the card up to the commissioner. So with the number 5 pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select edge rusher Will Anderson from Alabama. Next on the clock is the Arizona Cardinals. And guess what? This is probably going to be pretty easy, but let's take a look here. I mean, do I want to consider Nolan Smith for Arizona? Do I want to consider Kalijah Cansey? or do I want to take Devin Witherspoon? He's the best cornerback on the list. I mean, when we get a first look at him, 5'11", 181, he has one of the best seasons ever we've ever graded from a college cornerback. He was targeted 63 times in 2022 and allowed only 22 catches. That's amazing for 206 yards and 3 picks and 14 PBUs. That comes out to 3.3 yards per target. He's one of the feistiest cornerbacks in the class. Um, they lost a cornerback in free agency, so the only reason thing I'm thinking is there are a lot of other cornerbacks, but you want 11 defenders that see the game the way Witherspoon does, with 2,334 snaps to his name. Witherspoon has seen it all, and it shows on tape. Expect him to get his hands on a ton of footballs in the league. So, I mean, it makes a whole lot of sense to go ahead and get him. Um, we can look at cornerbacks later. I mean, you still have Gonzalez, Deontay Banks, Joey Porter, Forbes. There's cornerbacks even in the second round. So there is that possibility. Who do we want to trade back with? The Titans. And I was just looking at the cornerbacks again. So, I mean, that's right around where Gonzalez is. You still have Deontay Banks. And the news about their strong suit wanting out, he should be the leader of that room quick. So, make a lot of good points. We're going to go ahead and just make the selection. So, going to send that into the commissioner. And with the number 6 pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select cornerback Devon Witherspoon, Illinois. Next on the clock, the Las Vegas Raiders. Sorry about that. I made a big boo-boo. But they need quarterback. I mean, I know that, you have Garoppolo on the roster. What about offensive line? Interior defensive line, defensive back. Let's see. What do we want to do? What's up, Jeff?
How you doing, Coach?
I'm all right. And yourself?
Doing very well. Doing very well.
Thanks for popping in.
Anytime.
Raiders need ha lot. Yeah, they do. So that's why it's like, all right, do we go with Skaronski, being that he's the best offensive lineman? When you take a first look, 6'4", 313. He had with sub 33 inch arms. Skaronski is very well may end up at guard for some teams. At tackle, though, he was lights out this past fall. He allowed only 6 pressures in 474 pass blocking snaps in his third season as Northwestern starting tackle. Hand usage is a make or break trait for a lot of prospects. When you see someone as adept with their limbs as Skaronski is, it makes you feel great about how they'll translate to the NFL. I mean, he reminds me of so much of what's the alignment with the Chargers, who came
Oh,
from.
Rashawn Slater.
Exactly. Pretty much they both are in the same mold, same school. That's why to me it makes sense, but I understand about, do you want to go with a quarterback like Will Levis and have him sit behind Garoppolo? And then you also you have Cansey still there, you have Gonzalez. What's your thoughts, Jeff?
What about maybe a cornerback? Because they have been struggling to find an outside cornerback as well.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yes,
like
Gonzalez.
I know the team before Arizona just picked Devin Witherspoon, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
maybe a cornerback could be on there too. But I agree. If they're not going quarterback, offensive line has got to be it. You got to be able to protect. You got to be able to protect Jimmy G. But
Mm-hmm.
they seem to be okay at left tackle with Colton Miller. So it's really just about filling out the rest of that offensive line. So if
What
Will
about
Levis,
the right line, the right side of the line?
would you draft a tackle that high though to throw him at right tackle?
Didn't the Giants?
They did that. You're right. They did do that. Well, then so the Bucks with Tristan Wirfs. What are you thinking?
I'm actually thinking offensive line, but I mean, you made a good point about cornerback. And being that what division do they play in and who's out there?
Yep, the AFC West.
So it's now it's like, okay, you got, of course, you got KC, you got the Raiders. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, not the Raiders, you got the
Bron-
Chargers, the
Broncos.
Broncos. So now you're making a lot of sense now. Next shift says they need to protect Playboy Jimmy with paying him all that money. It's a passing league, though. Boy. You know what? Skaronski's the pick. I have to go with him.
Okay.
So I'm sending the card in.
Would you make
So,
Skoronski
oh,
the left tackle and move Colton Miller to right?
that's a possibility too. See who's better at the left tackle. So
Mm-hmm.
with the seventh pick in the 2023 draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select tackle Pete Skoronski, Northwestern. Next on the clock is the Atlanta Hawks. This is a little tricky one for me because yeah, you could take quarterback, but they have what's his name there
Desmond
from
Ritter.
Desmond Ritter. So I mean, I know he's a second round draft pick,
Mm-hmm.
but they believe in him from all indications. So let me just see what the trades say. Trades say the Green Bay Packers want to move up. The Packers, for that matter, are looking for quarterback, quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, defensive line, and safety.
Mm-hmm.
And when you draft a player, Dalton Kincaid is there. Hmm. And what wide receivers? Let me go to the wide receivers. Jackson and they have Addison at 23. Wow.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Coach, your Knicks are up right now
Yeah, I
by
got
11.
11 points. I got it on the corner right here. So
All right.
what's up, AK? Thanks for dropping in. Um, next year, Hawks got Akuda from the Lions, so they could use a safety.
That's true.
Wow. But do we want to draft a safety that high at 8?
Is Brian Branch that good where you draft him in the top 10?
He's rated at 15. I wouldn't say he is. Not a top
Mm-hmm.
10 player. I mean, 6 foot, 190. He's the definition of a football player, plays the game you wish every defensive back would. He's also the best tackling defensive back PFF has graded, missing only 4 tackles in 174 career attempts. That's amazing. He's precisely the type of player you want leading your defense. His presence makes everyone else's job easier because of how adept he is at executing his role flawlessly. He'll do that and make plays to go beyond his assignment on a given play. Whew.
I got a wild card for you, Coach.
What's
What
that?
about a wide receiver? Get him another
Yeah,
wide receiver with Drake London and Kyle Pitts.
that's Jackson Smith and Jigba that they have rated, even though I'm not high on him. But based on the board, 6 foot, 160, 196. He missed almost the entire fall with hamstring issues, but was Ohio State's leading receiver in 2021 as a sophomore. That year, he caught 95 passes for 1595, 9 scores. He provides the uncoachable route running ability, the ball skills that will always have a role in the NFL. He
Mm-hmm.
possesses the game like it's in slow motion, processes the game like it's in slow motion. His ability to break off routes without warning and catch the pass as he's changing directions is unmatched in this class. I mean, it makes a whole lot of sense. I have just one concern about Jackson Smith and Jigba. And is he this good because of the receivers who were around him? All
Mm-hmm.
right. Think about when he led the team, the outs, and he was always in the slot, so he wasn't getting targeted by the number one defensive back. He
Yeah.
was always targeted by either a slot, a linebacker, or a safety.
Yeah.
So that, and then last year, you had Harrison Jr. and what's that? I can't say his name.
And Nukaba or something?
Yeah, they were on the outside. So that's my concern. I think they would go cornerback.
I think they
Um,
would have if they didn't get if they have
yeah,
Okuda and they have AJ Terrell, so they could. But I think they might
I mean,
cornerback might be off their list
you
at this
might be
point.
right with wide receiver though, because they also have what's his name, the tight end.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts, who could be like a wide receiver. All right, if you want to, here's one. Would you move Kyle Pitts as a wide receiver, a big wide receiver, and draft a Dalton Kincaid, who's
You can
more like a
also
natural tight end?
Kincaid is more. He's more of a H back. He's smaller. I mean, when you look at Dalton Kincaid, I think he's like 6'3", 246. He's not a big tight end. So, and at Utah, they would have flexed it. They did flex him out on occasion. He bridges the gap between tight end and wide receiver. You're not going to draft him for his blocking ability, but he's at
Mm-hmm.
least serviceable in that regard. He can also be a focal point of an offense with his route running ability after recording 70 catches for 890 last season. He has all the uncoachable aspects of being a receiver in spaces, whether it's adjusting to balls, setting up defenders, or subtle movement after the catch. He has it all. I mean, it makes sense with what you're saying. Plus they can go 12 personnel. So, I mean, it does create mismatches, but,
Would they be crazy enough to go Will Levis if they're not sold on Ritter?
yeah, I mean, I get it. That's what I was in. Everything I heard says that they really trust Ritter. So, I mean, and you know what? If it goes bad for everything that I'm going to say, and I don't believe you should do, but
Mm-hmm.
you have quarterbacks coming out next year.
Halftime makes a great point. What about Bijan Robinson? They have been linked to him a lot this year so far.
Hmm.
They have been.
I
There's a
know about Robinson.
lot of links going on between
Hmm.
Robinson and the Falcons. So what's a young quarterback's best friend? A great
Running
running
game.
game. That's exactly what Robinson would provide. Even though I thought that Algier kid was really good last
Hmm.
year, Robinson seems like a no brainer.
AK thinks you're going to go with Gonzalez.
They could go with another cornerback and pair up AJ Terrell with Christian Gonzalez. Both make sense
You
though,
know what?
Bijan
Everything makes sense. The quarterback, the running back, the receiver, the tight end, the cornerback. I mean, every last one of them. So, but you know what? I like that idea of the running back. So I'm gonna send the ticket in to the commissioner.
okay.
What's up next, Chef?
What is up,
And
Coach?
what's up? And with the eighth pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select running back Bijan Robinson out of Texan. That's going to be the surprise of the draft right there. Ooh.
Huh.
Next on the clock would be the Chicago Bears at
And
number 9.
and Jerry Jones is punching the air right now.
Exactly. So now, do we look at the Bears taking a tackle because they're not going to take center? Do we go with Kalijah Cansey? Do we even dare Brian Branch? We talked about him earlier into the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
There's no tackles. They're saying there are no tackles, but I think the tackles are rating too low because Paris Johnson, Broderick Jones, they all would sit well. AK says the same thing. I'm thinking Bears with the O line for sure. What do you guys think?
Go ahead first, Randy. I'm still thinking.
Yeah, I would too. You gotta protect Fields at some point in time, and with a pick like this high up, with the talent that's available at that position, you'd almost be ignorant to say no, not right now. So yeah, you would have to if you're not going defense, that would be the guy I would get. Would be Paris Johnson.
Yeah, 6'6", 313, showed out
Woo!
in his first season at left tackle, yielding only 14 pressures and 449 pass blocking snaps. At his size, he ticks all the physical boxes you want at the position. You want someone who can cut off the backside, displace a three-tech, mirror an athlete off the edge, and lead out on a screen. Johnson is your man. It's there for him to be a high-end NFL tackle, which I agree. I don't have him that far from Skoronski as far as PFF, because I think they had Skoronski rated higher, much
Mhm.
higher. But I'm with you. I go Johnson or Skoronski. Skoronski's off the board already, so
Yeah.
I'd actually throw out a wild card to you guys.
go ahead.
Because of the great wide receivers in that division, would you go Christian Gonzalez? They do need a corner
Good
as a
point.
wild card because you have Evans and you have Godwin, you have Gage, you have the wide receivers from New Orleans. They're good. They're pretty good. And then you got the wide
Here's
receivers over there in Carolina who are
I'm
not
gonna
bad.
I'll say this. I'll chance it because with their remaining picks, because this is 9, then it goes to 53. That's a big this split. And there's the
We got a
tackles.
wild-
The
Yeah.
tackles are right now because we know this draft has cornerbacks. They have
Okay.
it has a lot of cornerbacks. So
Yeah, I just figured I'd throw it out there. I'd probably
no,
go
I mean
Paris.
that
Yeah,
That's
I'd probably
fully
go
fair.
Paris Johnson.
yeah, I like that thought. The only thing I was considering for a split second because of the rating was Cansey, but I
Yeah,
think Paris Johnson brings to it because you have Fields. You have to protect him. You have to do everything you can. So
that's a good point.
um,
Get the left tackle to protect your
yeah,
quarterback.
solidify that. And plus, with all the talent they brought in offensively, so yeah, solidify that. So I'll send it in, the ticket in.
Okay,
Tickets going in.
think it's going in.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Jalen
And,
Julius Randle is still doing crappy shooting the basketball.
Look, they're winning by
okay.
12, though.
And with the 9th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select tackle Paris Johnson out of the Ohio State University. Next on the clock is the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles need interior offensive line here, wide receiver, interior defensive line, and safety. Now, I'm going to be honest. The first thing I always thought was safety. And it scares me to say this, but
Branch.
Smith and Jigba really would enhance that offense, that wide receiver group. I mean,
Do
Randy,
they need him?
Sorry, Coach.
Go ahead, Randy. I mean, am I off base with what I'm thinking, or I mean,
Well, I mean,
you
we've seen the
talk to me.
season that Quez had and like the opportunities they kept forcing the ball to him, and then in high moments and pressure moments, he'd either drop it or fumble it or something would arise. So could you imagine AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Jackson Smith-Njigba as our tandem 3 with alongside Dallas Goedert?
Oh,
Wow,
God.
you're talking weapons. There you go. Absolutely.
Yeah,
But I feel like it's either gonna be BJ or it's gonna be Nolan Smith, I think, potentially with that pick. That's who I
so safety or the edge. I mean, AK is talking Smith because that scares
Nolan
also
Smith.
scares me because I love Nolan Smith. I mean,
Yes.
I love everything about him because with him, he's not just an edge rusher. He can also play linebacker. And he can also drop into coverage on occasion.
He can
I'm
come
not
off
saying
ball. Nice.
he comes off the ball. You can line him off ball too. So if you want to put him in as an off ball linebacker, behind the defensive line, you have that ability with him. So he does more than just come off that edge. So
And rumor has it too, Coach. Apparently, Jordan Davis is like that guy that keeps Nolan Smith in line. Apparently, when he's around the big boy, he doesn't mess around and do anything and say stupid stuff. No, he's about his business with around the big guys. So why not? We already got 2 Bulldogs. Why not the 3rd, right?
What about Kalijah Cansey?
But that's the one right there for me is Cansey.
So right now it's between these 3. So Randy, guess what? It's your team. It's your pick. You tell me which one you want to go with.
Okay. Fuck, I'm probably gonna get shat on by AK and Philly halftime in the chat for this, but we have nobody in the foreseeable future, obviously on safety, and I would love Brian Branch. I'll be real with you. Like,
okay,
to finally have a guy that I could have back there to trust and proven guy that you can be out there and in lockdown moments or in pressure moments he could be there. I would swing for the fence.
No, that's a good pick because Branch gives you a lot of versatility where he can play a box safety. You can put him back in a 2 high if need be. as well as he can play the nickel corner. I mean, he did all of that with Alabama. So I mean, you weren't here when I did the first look. So with the first look, here you go. He's a definition of a football player, plays the game you wish every DB would. He's also the best tackling defensive back. They graded, missing only 4 in 174 career tackles. He's precisely the type of player you want leading your defense. His presence makes everyone else's job easier because of how adept he is at executing his role flawlessly. He'll do that and make plays that go beyond his assignment on a given play. So,
and you hit the nail on the head there, Coach, when you said the key word that kind of just binged in my head: tackling. That was our biggest problem last year in key moments, was that we just couldn't seem to wrap a dude up. Now imagine a rookie coming in and locking dudes down. That's going to make a lot of veterans and other guys look a special way. So they're going to want to play harder as well. So yeah, send that stuff up.
Okay,
that's your next Brian Dawkins right there.
Potentially, right? Yeah, exactly.
Potentially your next Brian Dawkins in that secondary.
All right. Well, we're sending it in right now.
But like AK said, Smith across from Riddick. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane.
With the 10th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select safety Brian Branch out of Alabama.
And also Alabama, like the school as well.
Exactly.
DB. You got Nick Saban, so I get you. So next on the clock,
okay,
are the Tennessee Titans.
Oof.
The Titans need wide receiver, which guess who's sitting right there, but they also need offensive line.
They need a quarterback.
Do they? Okay, good point.
They need a quarterback. I don't think they're sold on. They're not sold on Malik Willis. No.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard they're not sold on him either. So, and you have Will Levis dropping, right now down 4 spots.
Wow.
So, but the thing is, they can still bring back. They still have whatchamacallit. They can wait 1 more year if need be. Do you go with Jackson Smith and Jigga? What about a tight end?
Yeah.
So I mean, but quarterback is definitely an intriguing one. I mean, I didn't do a first look on Levis. I mean, 6'4", 229. He fought to keep his head above water week in and week out against SEC competition. He'll be battle tested for the NFL. Played through turf toe for much of 22 season, but earned a 90.6 overall grade when healthy under former Rams coordinator Liam Cohen in 2021. Levis is able to attack tight windows at every level of the football field fearlessly. He pairs that with nimble feet to get out of sticky situations in pocket. That's a combo most elite quarterbacks have in the NFL. I want to see some. Biggest strength is the ability to work the middle of the field that with drive throws to the deep and intermediate range of the field is still it's a skill that few possesses, which is why he's also in demand as at the prospect. Any scheme that consistently works there is one. His accuracy is my biggest concern. Okay.
Yeah. Like he's got a cannon of an arm, absolutely. But I mean, where's he throwing it to?
That's one thing you got to be worried about when a quarterback is if their accuracy is not quite there. That's something that takes a little bit of time for a quarterback to develop, and you don't know if he's going to be able to do that. Normal
guy says Philly, Dalton Kincaid.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Who's to say that let's just say they roll with Malik Willis this year and like it's called the Malik Willis experience this year, and they end up becoming one of the worst teams next year, and they end up trying to scratch the ceiling for Caleb Williams as their number 1 quarterback next year. So this year they go offensive line so they can basically shore up some spots on the offensive line to help for that future pick next year potentially. So
like Broderick Jones.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at because it says he's a bully offensive tackle. You're not going through him. You'll have to go around. I admit I've seen him. He'll earn an 84.1 passing grade in his first full season starting at left tackle. Obviously, this is a combination with some awesome raw power for the true junior, but Jones will likely go higher than the grades might suggest simply because of the way he plays the game. It's easy to envision what his mentality paired with more consistent technique could lead to. I'm going to say this, and people can kill me. Broderick Jones does remind me of Andrew Thomas to a certain extent.
That's scary then. That's scary if that's the case, because we know how good Andrew Thomas is right now.
Exactly. The only thing I'm thinking about with Tennessee to give Malik Willis or what's his name if they bring him back?
Tannehill.
Tannehill. Do we give him that slot wide receiver?
Well, yeah, because next to Treylon Burks, they got Westbrook Akine, and then Kyler Phillips is their slot.
They're a little thin at that
Derrick
position.
Henry's going to be 30 next year, so it's like, they need some weapons.
Exactly. So I mean, but I get the offensive line because they let what's his name, Taylor Lewan go.
Yeah.
So it's a catch-22, and they have pick 41 for later. So let me go back to the offensive tackle now. Let's see that later on. Yeah, it's not much after. I mean, you'd be lucky if DeJuan Jones falls.
I like Matthew Bergeron from Syracuse, though. I like that kid a lot.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So, I mean, the possibility, you know what? We're going to go with Jackson Smith and Jigba.
But yet again, the Titans don't have Jeff Stoutland, the O-line god. So he turned a 7th-round rugby player into a left tackle stud.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still going to go with Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You need to get a wide receiver for eventually your young quarterback, whoever it's going to be.
And Treylon Burks last year with his coming into camp with weight issues and then saying it's his asthma, and it's just like, come on, there's they need help there.
Exactly.
The 11th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Jackson Smith and Jigba, wide receiver, The Ohio State University. Next on the clock, it's Houston Texans. This is their 2nd pick. So first pick, we selected quarterback C.J. Stroud. So right now it's wide receiver, interior line, and defensive lineman. So you have a defensive-minded coach. So you also have Nolan Smith and Kancey. But we also have trade offers on the table. New England. New England wants to come up 2 spots. So do I dare? Let me see. Okay, won't be accepted. So let me see something. This will be accepted once both team adds pick. Interesting. What do you think? Let me see this.
And they're gaining an extra pick in the 5th.
I might have to think about doing that, honestly.
Yeah, but see, now it's what? All right, the first round next year is not going to be accepted. I already see that's coming. So it's
nice shot.
But they have so many picks for this year. But they need everything too. So
they really do. Yeah,
they do. Yes.
So sorry. Should I add on one more late in the draft? Let me see. They have 201, 203. And 187 and 188 wouldn't be bad because they have 184 here. Or should I do 184? I can get away with 184. What do y'all think? Do you think this is good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I think we should go for the trade. Titans are a team the Texans need a lot more help still on the offensive side of the ball and even a little bit more defense. I think the smart thing to do is just get as much draft capital as you can and try to supplement the depth or at least multiple positions on that roster.
Okay, there we go. So now with New England needs a quarterback, which is there, Levitt, a tackle, and Nolan Smith. And I think that's why they probably want to make this trade.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to take – well, they could take an edge to pair up with Rashawn Gary with Green Bay. So, yeah. But you also have those behind you. Somebody could come jump up. So, yeah, let's make the trade. And New England's on the clock.
Did AD just get hurt again?
Who?
No, AD. Did he just get hurt again?
Oh, the Lakers are on too?
Yeah, they're on TNT. The Knicks are on NBA TV.
NBA TV. You know, I'm watching the Knicks. So
Yeah.
So the thing is, do the Patriots go Levitt or do they go Nolan Smith?
I think they go Nolan Smith. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I think they might. I think for some reason Belichick wants to justify that Mac Jones and or Bailey Zappi is the answer. I think he's going to want a defensive player for him and his son. So I think a guy like Nolan Smith would be a perfect Bill Belichick type player.
It's kind of what I was thinking too, because he, like I said before, he can play so many more positions than just coming off the edge.
How about Kalijah Kancey? Kalijah Kancey with Bill Belichick, or Miles Murphy with Bill Belichick would be music to his ears. It's another guy, Miles Murphy out of Clemson.
Yeah, I would probably go more Nolan Smith, but yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, Jeff.
Yeah, either or, you can't really go wrong.
Yeah, but I'm probably going to stick with Kancey. I mean, not Kancey. I'm going to stick more with Nolan Smith.
Okay.
So that's what I'm sticking with. And plus, think about the division now, because now that the Jets got Rodgers, you want to get after the quarterback, with Miami with Tua and the Bills with Allen. So, Kancey can get a little bit, pressure up the middle, but Nolan Smith you can move all over. So yeah, I'm going to send that in for Nolan Smith.
No, good point, Coach.
And we have a trade. Houston is traded with the Patriots, and now the Patriots have sent the card in to select Nolan Smith, edge rusher, Georgia. Next on the clock, the Green Bay Packers. Packers, no, we know they don't need a quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, defensive line, and safety. So
you want me to be honest? This one is an easy one for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What is it?
Kalijah Kancey. Not even a joke. Kalijah Kancey. Get that big defensive tackle in the middle. It could be a game wrecker right next to Kenny Clark. That's exactly what this team needs. A big-time defensive pass rusher up the middle. If not him, go Miles Murphy at defensive end.
You see, and I actually think it might be Dalton Kincaid, because with Love, they're going to need some weapons, and they've lost some guys in free agency. Ironically, some of them went to the Jets. So what better than to have a big body tight end for Jordan Love to throw to in Dalton Kincaid? But again, like you said, they've always been predicated on their defense. So,
or it could be Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame as well. Be another option. And normal guy even says it. Maybe a wide receiver like Zay Flowers to bring a little speed, since they have some bigger wide receivers on the outside with Dobbs and with Watson.
Christian Watson, yeah.
Yeah, and Romeo Dobbs.
They have the receivers rated so far down.
It's surprising.
33.
I mean, but now this is PFF, so I mean, that's why I'm,
with a grain of salt.
Yeah. So, but I'm seeing where they're saying what they're saying. So, but I mean, I hear Randy, because you have Love now. You want to give him the weapons to see what you have with him.
Yeah.
And I mean, you think about it, Detroit with their offense. Yeah, you want to try and build up the defense, but in the same token, you might have to try and run and score with them. We see Chicago has already done the Vikings for everything. They still do have a good offense. So is also, that
quarterback's best friend, tight end?
That's true.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
So Norman guy said the other spot tight end. So. So
don't let us sway you. What do you think as a coach? Like, where are you thinking?
I'm actually thinking tight end, because Kincaid, you could still flex him out into as a slot wide receiver in line. You can motion him, so you can do so many things. You have like you just said about their tall wide receivers on the outside. What's his name is, because of his speed, is going to draw sometimes two DBs.
Yeah, Christian Watson. Yeah,
Christian Watson. So and Kincaid can attack right over the seams and right in the middle, right in Love's face. So, and he does a lot of good things. So, You know, he's a better receiver than he is a blocker. So it does make a lot of sense to go with him, especially like you said with the trade now. If it was Rodgers, I'd probably be more in line to go with Kancey because I could trust him more. But you don't know what you have with Love, so we have to go with Dalton Kincaid. So sending that in.
Okay. Quick Knicks update: 57-43. Knicks up by 14.
Okay. And with the 13th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select tight end Dalton Kincaid, Utah. Next on the clock is the Texans. So guess what just happened? We don't even have to worry about it. It's not going to be a wide receiver. We can get that later. Center we can get later. Guess what? Your boy right there, Jeff, is sitting right there. And it would fit perfectly. You have a defensive-minded coach. He's going to want that. It'll fit right into the middle of their defense. So it's not even a waste of time. It's definitely send a pick in for Kancey. So that it's they're flying up to the table. Yeah, you go right there.
Nico Ryans is sprinting to that damn podium. He's like, "Let's go make the pick, Roger."
Exactly. So that's what we're gonna go with. So with the 14th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Kalijah Kancey, defensive lineman, Pittsburgh. Next on the clock, the Jets, Jets. All right, bless you. You okay, Randy?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So the Jets, we know. You just got the big prize. I mean, we can look at linebacker, but we can get linebacker later because they still have the pick 43 in the second round. So it's just, do you want Broderick Jones as a left tackle?
Yes.
Or wait a minute, right, who's probably the best because he is a right tackle.
That's a 6'5"?
He's 6'5", 333. He's a 4-year starter who finally saw the proverbial light flip on in this past fall. His tape against Alabama's Will Anderson was outstanding as he allowed one pressure in that game and 8 for this. What?
Wow.
One pressure against Will Anderson? Few tackles in college football were more awe-inspiring when they engaged in the run game. He overpowered defenders everywhere he lined up across from. Right skill set is traditionally placed on the right side, although that's fairly antiquated thinking. It wouldn't be a surprise if some wanted him to move inside. Right, can get a little out over his toes and leaves himself exposed to getting knocked off balance when he does catch defenders cleanly. He'll end up on the ground a lot more. No, all right.
Broderick Jones.
Broderick Jones.
Left tackle. Need a left tackle.
Okay. So there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, they need that left tackle. If you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers out there, you got to get yourself a left tackle that can protect him at this point in his career. So
especially with his mobility.
Yeah, exactly. You put him at left tackle, you got yourself. And if you said he's anything like Andrew Thomas, you have to. You'd be foolish right now not to take a chance and throw. Because if you don't take him and you take your chance on a right tackle, that means you're pretty much saying either an older. Who's the left tackle they had last year? The name slipped. Dwayne Brown or Mekhi Becton, who hasn't played in 2 years, is you're going to be the starting left tackle. You can't do that if you're a team. You've got to get yourself a surefire left tackle on this team. So it's got to be Broderick Jones.
Randall's down.
Oh, really? Is he hurt?
Something about his ankle. It looked like he landed on top of Pierce Levert foot.
Isn't that the same ankle? All right.
He rolled the same ankle. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, it's simple for me. It makes a whole lot of sense. So
yeah.
It's going to be Broderick Jones. So I'm sending the ticket in.
Okay. It's stopping time.
And with the 15th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Broderick Jones, tackle, Georgia.
Normal guy. The Memphis game is 28-24. Memphis is up by 4.
Okay. So now the Washington Commanders are on the clock. So let's see. I haven't looked at a trade. Right now we have the Saints. Who else is on there? The Saints, the Titans in the second round. We're not even going to entertain that, not to drop that far down.
Will Levis.
And that's kind of what I was also thinking too.
Yeah. Quarterback.
Interior and linebacker. The only thing I'm going to entertain and bring on the table, do I look at edge?
I was.
You could look edge, but I think they need that quarterback. They need that quarterback on that team.
And we
have a lot of faith in Hal.
47. Yeah, that's the question. You have a new OC. So,
or Christian Gonzalez, that's another one. The guy's dropping right now, and he's arguably a top 10 player. And he's dropped all the way to the middle of the first round. Would you take him? Get a lockdown cornerback on the outside with the guys like the wide receivers in that division now with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and you obviously have the Dallas wide receivers. Maybe get yourself a lockdown quarterback.
You made the point about the quarterback. You have a new OC.
No, you're right.
Okay, that's the question. You have a new OC, and he wants to make a name for himself. So,
yeah, I'm taking Will Levis.
Yeah, I'm going Will Levis too. So, I'm sending a ticket in.
Let's just check and see the Knicks update on Randall.
With the 16th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select quarterback Will Levis, Kentucky. Plus, you also have a new ownership group too. So yeah, it makes sense. Everything new.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. And guess what? It's not even going for any further. The only thing I will say is, do we go Gonzalez? Do we go Banks or Porter Jr.? Because that's who Pittsburgh is going to look at right now. Yes,
Porter Jr.
I will say you can consider Darnell Wright, but I think cornerback is where they're going to look at. But now, do we take Porter Jr. over Gonzalez?
You got me on that one.
And you also have Deonte Banks there. So, I mean, when we look at Porter Jr., 6'2", 193, and he's a press corner you want. Porter is the press corner you want in this class at 6'2", 198. He attacks receivers at the line of scrimmage the same way his father attacked offensive tackle. He had a career year this past fall, allowing 143 yards in 10 games. Porter is one of the most consistent college cornerbacks you'll see at establishing leverage on wide receivers at the line. His ability to get and maintain contact with receivers will play in the NFL. So, I mean, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, he has the lineage. You know, his father played there. But do we give up on Christian Gonzalez?
Who fits their system? Who fits their defensive system better overall on that side? That's the question too.
Well, I will say this: whoever the Steelers don't take, the Lions will, because they got rid of Jeff Okudah, so they're going to snag up whoever's not there. That's
a good point. Well, who did the Lions pick in the first pick?
Oh, wait a minute. No, the Lions.
Did they take a corner already?
No, they took Jalen Carter.
That's a good. Then yeah, they're going to go cornerback with that other pick. So good point, Randy. They're going to if they don't take Gonzalez, then Gonzalez will probably go right to Detroit, although maybe go Banks, but most likely Christian Gonzalez. So
yeah,
you're going to see two cornerbacks go back to back on this one.
I'm going to take the flyer. I'm going to take the risk, and I'm going to go Porter Jr. because of the family lineage. He probably would. I mean, you have what's his name back there at safety too?
Fitzpatrick, Minkah Fitzpatrick.
They do want to play a little bit more aggressive, so you do want to have that physical corner at times to press and ride. So I'm going to go with Porter Jr. Bless you.
Nice. Wow.
Halftime, Knicks up by 10, 61-51.
And the lineage continues.
Yep.
And the Pittsburgh fan, and with the 17th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Joey Porter Jr., Penn State, and he's out of Pennsylvania, so yeah, it makes sense. So
his father might come back and decide to coach him up too. You never know.
And guess what? I'm not even gonna.
Yeah, Christian Gonzalez. Christian Gonzalez here.
Lines are flying up to the table. So
yeah, they're like that kid, that quarterback out of Oregon. He's ours.
And with the number 18 pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select cornerback Christian Gonzalez, Oregon.
Wow.
Next on the clock, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, Tampa Bay, this is quarterback. Yeah. No, they just brought in a quarterback, didn't they?
Baker Mayfield.
No, they need a quarterback, but there's nothing. Now, I'm going to say this in terms of the quarterback, because I'm going to consider this.
I think I know where you're going.
Do they consider Hendon Hooker?
Yep, that's exactly where I thought you were thinking.
Because they need that. Now they need offensive line. It says defensive line, safety. I mean, we do have Michael Mayer there. You have Wright there, but do you take a quarterback behind him? He's developing. Hendon Hooker just put out a clip. He's throwing the ball. Now he wasn't moving, and all that. So, but he's showing that he's still able to throw the ball with good accuracy and good power. So, I mean, it's a nice little clip. But do they consider? I mean, even Myles Murphy. It says interior defensive lineman. You can move Murphy inside outside, but you can wait on that probably.
Here's a wild card. How about offensive guard Osiris Torrance, since they need offensive line help? Even though it might be a little bit too high for him at this point, would they consider Osiris Torrance at this position? Because they need offensive line help. They lost Donovan Smith. I believe they released him. They traded away Shaq Mason. And, I mean, the only positions they're really secured on are right tackle with Wirfs, and they brought back Jensen. Otherwise, I believe every single one of those offensive line spots are open. And you want to protect Baker Mayfield, so you need a left tackle. And I believe you need a left guard. So just throwing it out there.
I mean, left tackle also is Anton Harrison.
That's another one. Yep.
He's 6'4", nimble. Saw time at the left side on Oklahoma. Wait a minute. He saw Muslimi left tackle for the Sooner ever since his true freshman season. So 3 years. This past season, he only had 9 pressures and 447. He isn't the kind of explosive athlete who has any wild rep or should be expected to blow up on it. No reason to. So, but I do like the thought of Osiris. Where is that? I just saw him.
Yeah. Just bringing it up because they do need offensive line help, and you want to protect Baker Mayfield or whoever the quarterback is.
Yeah, he's not 330. He's more closer to 350.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
True top guard prospect. It's 345. 345. He's a big boy to try and overpower. Started for 3 seasons at Louisiana before transferring, where he earned an 88 overall grade last fall. Torrance makes moving people against their will look like child's play. He can move defensive tackles off the line with his lower body and torque them out of the hole. He's never been a more guard prospect. He's built in a lab. Physical limitation are the biggest things holding Torrance back. There's not much else on tape that I call a glaring issue. So, Normal guy says running back.
I was going to say maybe, unless you're going to think about moving, another suggestion would be if you're going to think about moving Tristan Wirfs back to left tackle and you draft Darnell Wright at right tackle. That's another thing right there. Just throwing all these decisions out there. Even though Wright, you just said he does struggle at times. He does fall on the ground when he gets beaten by some speed rushers. Would they think about, because I think they originally wanted Tristan Wirfs to be a left tackle. Would they consider moving him to the left side and drafting Darnell Wright to play right tackle? That's another thing I just thought of.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, you got Wright, you got Mayer. So right now it's the offensive line or the tight end.
That's not good.
You want to give Baker as much help as possible. They have their receivers. What's his name is still there.
Yeah, Evans and Godwin are still there.
So but the offensive line does need to be fixed.
Yes.
And that's the thing. So,
do they need pass rush help? With
they're not trading the linebacker. They already said that when who actually trade.
Like an outside pass rusher.
Yeah,
like,
I'm trying to think.
They got Shaq Barrett, JPP. I don't think he's on the team anymore. They got Vita Vea in the middle. So maybe like a Miles Murphy could even be another guy to think about if they want to go pass rush. Get himself a young stud pass rusher.
But Miles Murphy, I don't consider an elite pass rusher. He's more like if I'm getting him, he's more of your strong side or plays to the strong side because teams like to run because he's good at setting the edge. Now he can work his way to the quarterback. He definitely can do that. So I'm not saying he can't get to the quarterback, and you can scheme him to get there. So,
but, he's a better run stopper, pretty much.
He's better in the run. He's balanced, so he's good in the run game. So, and that's the thing. So it's and in the second round they're saying interior defensive line. So I mean, if I'm going to consider somebody interior wise, it's going to be what's him call it from Baylor, Ika from Baylor.
Yeah,
because he's just like Vita Vea, big, 350-pound man child who can just command double teams and just push the pocket. So
that's not good.
But yeah, so if I'm going to consider him, I would go into him. But that's why it's like
I just watched the replay of I watched the replay of Randall, and it will not look good. He had to be held off the court by two people. Sorry.
No, that's all right. So I don't have time anymore. I gotta go, and based on the way this board is ranked, I'm just gonna take Michael Mayer, tight end.
Okay.
You
go Cade Otton, and you got Michael Mayer at tight end. Not a bad duo.
And with the 19th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Michael Mayer, tight end, Notre Dame. Next on the clock, the Seattle Seahawks. And I'm not even going to play around with it. The first time, I think, what did we take? The first time they took Will Anderson. This time, guess what I'm doing? Going O'Cyrus Torrence.
Yeah, you put him next to Charles Cross. You got yourself a couple of good young linemen.
He's more the right tackle. I mean the right guard. That's
put him next to Cornelius Lucas, the other rookie, a second-year player.
And plus, with their running game, they have a nice running game, and he definitely helps in the pass game. So that's where I'm going right there with O'Cyrus Torrence.
Walker would love him.
And with the 20th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select O'Cyrus Torrence, guard, Florida. Next on the clock, the LA Chargers. I still can't get over saying that.
Now, they're always San Diego. They're always going to be San Diego.
And guess what? They're flying even faster to the draft board. They're flying even faster to the board than anyone else because guess what? He slipped. I'm throwing a wild card. How does Elijah B. Joe brother play for the Giants? Oh, he said that a little while ago. For
Aziz.
Yeah, no, he was saying as far as a pick. I got what he's saying. I think for Seattle.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't have the window open. I'm sorry, but the Chargers, they want Jordan Addison.
Yes,
right to him, perfect.
With all the
and you need a young receiver with Allen getting up there in age and Williams has missed time.
Now, the only thing I'm going to ask to throw a wrench into it, do we consider Quentin Johnson?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about maybe considering Quentin Johnson if they want a little size, but I think they're going to want a smaller wide receiver. I agree. We all agree with you on that one, Nikki, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I'm laughing. You can't take charge as So, but I'm with you. I mean, that's why I was just throwing that out there. Because, I know they need wide receiver. They can get linebacker later. I mean, do we consider Forbes as an offshoot? I mean, that is
like you said. No, they're running up to the the thing with Addison on the card.
And they got J.C. Jackson and they got Asante Samuel Jr. So I think they're okay at cornerback.
I love Asante Samuel Jr. I love that kid.
Well, there we go. The card is at the table.
As much as I love Derwin James too.
Justin Herbert will love Jordan Addison.
Yes.
So with the 21st pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the LA Chargers select wide receiver Jordan Addison, USC. Next on the clock, the Baltimore Ravens. Now, right now, yes, you have Myles Murphy and you have Deonte Banks, who's from the area, as well as Quentin Johnson. Now,
easy one for me, but I'll let you go first, Coach.
Yes, Quentin Johnson is right there. It would be an interesting pick to go along with OBJ and the other receivers there. Even if I want to shoot down to Zay Flowers as a wide receiver, that's it would also really electrify their offense. But Baltimore has always been a defensive team.
Yep.
And what better place for the kid from Maryland than Deonte Banks playing in Baltimore, Maryland?
That's exactly what I was thinking, Coach. Exactly where I was going. Deonte Banks in Baltimore. They need a cornerback too. They let go of Peters, I believe. So pair him with Marlon Humphrey. It's not a bad duo.
What about you, Randy? What was your thoughts?
I literally my pick for them was Banks, 100%. Yeah. So
okay.
Here we go.
We all were on that wavelength. Yeah. They need that. That makes too much sense.
They can get a wide receiver later in the draft as well.
Exactly.
And with the 22nd pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select cornerback Deonte Banks, Maryland. Next on the clock, the Minnesota Vikings. Now, do we look at Forbes here? I know it's saying wide receiver. I get it. You can think Quentin Johnson. But, we talked earlier about the offenses in the NFC North. You always got to think about your division.
Yeah.
What about Forbes? Do you think he would fit? Didn't they let Peterson go? What's his name? Patrick Peterson?
Yeah, I think he's in Pittsburgh now.
Yeah, so
and didn't they also let one of their linebackers go too, like Eric Hendricks or something like that as well?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
They need linebacker help as well. So yeah.
Well, you need a linebacker later, because it's not as fluid here.
Okay.
Now Myles Murphy could be intriguing. You can bump him inside to a 3-tech on occasion, 5-tech, but he's really more, like we said earlier, the edge. When I take a look at, his first look, he's 258, so he would get pounded on consistently if you moved him inside all the time. Whether he's 260, 275, still that's a heavy load for a 3-tech. So,
well, would you draft him and put him on the outside, and you could take either one of Zadarius Smith or Danielle Hunter and put them inside, and you could throw him on the outside, and you also Zadarius is getting
in the middle. You could put
exactly
Zadarius in the middle,
and Zadarius is getting up there in age, and Danielle Hunter has had injury issues, even though they're both great. So you can have a young defensive end that you could pair with them and eventually take over. But for me, Coach, I'm glad you brought up the name before. If I'm the Vikings, they badly need quarterback help. They need to be able to defend those outside playmakers. I'm going Emmanuel Forbes. That's the guy I would target. They need a quarterback.
I know what I was thinking. I thought about Johnson for a second because, they let what's his name go.
Thielen.
Yeah. So, I get it. And teams are going to really hunker down on Jefferson now because
they got Hawkinson too, though, that tight end from Detroit.
And they also have KJ Osborne, who they like a lot too.
True, I forgot about Osborne. So guess what? Great point.
Let's go.
We're going Forbes.
Okay.
So with the 23rd pick in the 2023 draft, the Minnesota Vikings select cornerback Emmanuel Forbes, Mississippi State.
Nice.
Next on the clock, the Jacksonville Jaguars. And right now, Miles Murphy is kind of high on there. There's really not much interior offensive lineman.
I got my pick right here. I got my pick. Darnell Wright. You lost your right tackle in free agency to the Chiefs. They need a right tackle. I'm taking Darnell Wright and putting him right on that right side and giving Trevor Lawrence some protection.
Okay.
That's just me, though. That's just me. I would get that right tackle and replace Jawan Taylor, who went to the Chiefs.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I forgot about that. Who's we have a no? Okay, we'll go with that. We can go with that.
Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense. Right there, right is the right spot position for them. So we'll send that in.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And with the 24th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select offensive tackle Darnell Wright, Tennessee.
Big Blue.
Hold a minute. What happened to Donovan Mitchell?
He's hurt now too?
No,
he's getting up. He's getting up. I'm sorry.
Update on Randall. He suffered a sprained ankle and he's doubtful to return. That's not good for the Knicks.
No.
As much as you don't like him, coach, they can't lose him.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's so many different things we can do here. We can take edge rushers. We can take Quentin Johnson. We have trade offers on the table. So I'm going to see something.
I know you were going to think the trade, coach, but there's some good players up there I don't know if we should pass on. But I would do.
But this gives you more.
I know.
More value because you can get. Guess what? That 35. I'm not gonna lie. That can target John Michael Schmidt. You could still get you a cornerback, wide receiver. I'm getting extra picks, and I knew that wasn't gonna work. I can get 4 extra picks. Now I know we have 10 picks, but we can work on trading some of these in the back end. I'll even do this. Throw that in there, and that's there. But you know what? I'm going to entertain you when you said there's.
If you want,
no.
You wanted to the trade.
Talk to me about what you were thinking.
Well, I was thinking about an edge. Honestly, I'm thinking about an edge here because of the fact that who knows about Azeez? He got injured a lot. Kayvon Thibodeau is still not a finished product, and also the fact that. What do we have behind in terms of depth? We're not very deep in terms of our edge rush. I mean, Jihad Ward's more of a run stopper. So you have Miles Murphy on the board. You got Luke Van Ness on the board. Will McDonald is there. You got Tyree Wilson. You got 4 prime edge rushers right there for the taking at this pick right here. So, and a lot of them dropped. A lot of them dropped around here, or they're like around the area where we're picking. So. Maybe it's just me, and you could call me crazy. I'm thinking about going edge. I want another because there's no unless you want to go with a Cam Smith at cornerback, even though it might be a little bit of a reach, or a Tyreek Peterson, or if you want to go Quentin Johnson, if you like Johnson enough, that wide receiver staring you in the face. I'm leaning honestly more towards edge because I want to stack that edge room with more pass rushers for Wink Martindale to be able to deploy on that defense. If I had to pick, I'm probably leaning more towards Tyree Wilson at a Texas Tech.
I'm surprised he's based off of this that he's this low.
Yeah.
I mean, when I look at him, he's in the top. I mean, it doesn't make sense that they have him this low. So, due to his size, man, plays in his man can play near possibly get his hand, get into his pads. That's a good way decision. He can play hands up, down, inside, outside as beautiful. If Wilson can get his hand placement on point, it's game over. Guess what?
Toppin's got 7 points already.
Wow.
Based on what you were just saying, I really want to trade, but
trade. You take the trade. Take the trade, coach. Take the trade. Take the trade.
Listen to me. I want to, but my head is saying Tyree Wilson is too good to trade back on.
Okay.
Yeah.
He really is. He just, now Van Ness, I would put over Murphy.
Yeah.
Van Ness, you can do inside, outside, and he's still raw and developing. But
Okay.
that Tyree Wilson, yeah, you're right. It's like,
And you trust Azeez to be able to remain healthy for a 17-game season? And look at our pass rush behind. I mean, Ellison Smith's on a milk carton right now. We don't know where he is.
It's all about depth too.
Yeah, depth.
No,
Look at the Eagles.
Well, wait a minute. I will say this. Let me see something.
He's like, wait.
Yeah.
No, there's a big drop off once you get past this.
He likes Anuke Uzama, yeah.
Yeah, Anuke Uzama.
And let me just see something with the interior offensive line. See, that's right where I was looking at, but Wipler's in 54, 57. So, I mean, okay.
Well, if you're going to do a trade out of those trades, which one would the one you were just doing, would that be the one you would accept?
Well, I would look at Indianapolis because it's right where maybe Seattle, but more than likely it would be here. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to see this.
You go, RJ. You go, RJ. 6 for 7 shooting.
A trade like this
that would go through.
This would go through, but it gives you so much more on. I mean, because you could work and do things here on the back end. You can trade up, use these to trade up even further into this area.
Yep.
And not have to have all of these, but this gives you so much value. And you just, think about this.
56.
You would have in the top 100, you would have 5 picks. 5 picks. That covers you, like I said, for your center, your cornerback, your wide receiver, linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
So, we could take this. We could go straight up, but, we're not going to have all this. But then again, we have 10 picks. So, so it's, there's no guarantee we would trade out. So that's why. And like I said, Tyree Wilson, the only thing is, are you bringing the first rounder off the bench and then moving Azeez are you keeping the Tyree Wilson on the field because he's the first rounder and bringing Azeez off the bench? Because Azeez can rush. It's not like he can't play. The only issue is just being on the field. So do we just say we can take a developmental edge later in the draft? Because if you draft Tyree Wilson as a first rounder, are you really going to have him come off the bench?
Well, here's the thing. Is he going to be more of a 3-down tech guy, right, coming off in his first season? Or are you going to use him more as like a pass rusher? And that way you can maybe move on 3rd down. You could move Tyree Wilson to the outside, and you could take either Thibodeaux or Azeez and put him in the defensive tackle position and maybe take out Leo, who could be a little bit beaten up. I could see Leo or Dex coming out on a pass rush situation. And then you could have those 3 pass rushers coming in on that defensive line on 3rd down. So that's just like another thing thrown out there.
Yeah. You're right. You can do so much. You have so much flexibility. What's up, Mitch? Thanks for popping in, man.
Yeah, man. How's everyone doing? Just got back from dinner.
How was dinner?
It was good. Just had spaghetti and meatballs.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. That's always good when it's fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh mozzarella.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys know this restaurant near my area. It's called Ponzio's.
I've been to Ponzio's, yeah. It's very good. Very good Italian food.
So, Julius Randle sprained his left ankle and Stafford will return.
Yeah, we saw that.
And Obi Toppin's going off right now.
I wasn't watching the game. What's the score?
It's 74-63.
Oh, wow. Okay. And the Lakers are down by 17.
Okay.
That doesn't surprise me.
So now getting back to this, it does give you so much flexibility, but the question is, like I said earlier, with the edge, do you want to draft some later? I get 32, but we still have 52. Like I said, if we trade back 5 picks in the top 100, you even have BJ Ojolari there.
Yeah.
Go with your gut, coach. Go with your gut.
Yeah.
Go with your gut.
My gut is this.
Take
the
trade.
It's not. But my head is saying the trade, but my gut is telling me take Tyree Wilson.
Your head, your gut,
You want your head or your gut? Jesus says this is the first year Azeez having injury issues. Other than that, he's played all his rookie year. But let's just go back. What was the Giant? Why were the Giants so successful? Because they kept drafting pass rushers, and that's what helped them win championships. You never could have enough pass rushers.
But 5 in the top 100. That's the whole. That's
I'm
taking a trade.
Take the trade. Take the trade, coach. Take the trade, coach.
Wait, was further AM in here?
No. We'd still be picking at number 5.
Or 4.
So I'm trading 25 and 254 for 35, 79, 138, and 162.
Okay.
All right. So who'd you pick for the Eagles?
And the Baltimore Colts are on the clock. Who did we pick for the first? They took Anthony Richardson. So I'll get to that in 1 second, Jeff.
How about them Cowboys?
So the Colts are on it. So they want wide receiver, offensive line, or cornerback. And we have Anton Harrison right there.
Yep. Take the right tackle.
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay.
Jeff, who am I? I don't like any of these guys. I got coach.
All right, and just for you, Brian Branch. Safety.
Oh, nice. Okay, wow.
Would you get Quentin Johnson because he's dropped? Maybe as a wide receiver to go with what you got? Another weapon for your quarterback?
What is the offensive
line? Who do the Colts have at wide receivers?
They got a Braden Smith at right tackle who's actually pretty good, but they don't have a left tackle. I don't know who the left tackle is.
Neither do I.
And you got, yes, you have but you also have Jonathan Taylor coming back. So you really need to show up that you have Quentin Johnson on the interior and that offensive line. You still have what's his name?
Pittman. They still have Michael Pittman at wide receiver.
Yeah, and you got Alec Pierce too. Good point.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to go with the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Quarterback and a new head coach. So that's who I'm going to send in the hit. And I forgot to do this for the Giants.
Hey, Jesus, hit that like button. Hit the like button for Coach Gladney, please. Hit the like button, please.
So, Jeff, are you watching AEW or no?
No, I'm watching the basketball games.
And we have a trade on the clock. The Indianapolis Colts and the New York Giants have traded. The Indianapolis Colts are on the clock, and with the 25th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Anton Harrison, tackle, Oklahoma. Next on the clock is the Dallas Cowboys.
Boo.
So, Steven, where are you, Steven? They took my running back, Steven. What am I going to do?
Where did Bijan Robinson go?
Bijan.
He went to Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah,
Falcons. Yeah.
At 8? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Damn you, Blake.
Here you go, Mitch. You can see here are the picks.
Oh,
Bryce
nice.
Young, for C.J. Stroud, Jalen Carter, Richardson, Will Anderson, Devin Witherspoon. Wait a minute. We also had trades. The Cardinals traded with Detroit for Jalen Carter. So Arizona moved down. That's where Detroit took Carter. The Cardinals ended up with Witherspoon. The Raiders took Skoronski. Atlanta went Bijan Robinson. The Bears went Paris Johnson. You guys went Branch. Titans went Jackson Smith and Jigma. The who's at 12? The Titans traded with New England. So New England ended up with Nolan Smith. Dalton Kincaid went to Green Bay. Obi with the 3. Kalijah Kancey went to the Texans. The Jets took Broderick Jones.
Yep.
Will Levis went to the Reds.
Commanders.
Joey Porter Jr.
The Redskins.
Joey Porter Jr. went to Pittsburgh. Christian Gonzalez went to Detroit. Michael Mayer went to Tampa Bay. Steal by Brunson. The slam. Osiris Torrance took Seattle. Went to Seattle. Jordan Addison went to the Chargers. Deontay Banks went to the Ravens. Emmanuel Forbes went to the Vikings. Darnell Wright went to the Jacksonville. And now that's where the trade with the Giants went. And they took Anton Harrison. and now the Cowboys are on the clock. And the Cowboys, yes, they need running back, interior defensive line, linebacker, and cornerback. To be honest with you, though, do they look at Quentin Johnson
or Miles Murphy?
I think they would go Miles Murphy, honestly.
You want me to be honest, Randy? I want that wide receiver for my guy Dak. I need that wide receiver. Dak.
Jahmyr Gibbs is more of a scat running back. He's quick. Obi with the slam. Ooh, they're running the hell out of him.
Gibbs is a home run waiting to happen, not only on the ground, but through the air. In 3 years between Georgia Tech and Alabama, Gibbs caught 103 passes for 1,215 yards and 8 tutties.
So isn't he a carbon copy of Pollard, basically?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to look at that.
That's why I thought Murphy, just because they need to shore up that defense, right?
Yeah, and you get another pass rusher there with DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons to make that pass rusher more ferocious.
Yeah. But let's look at the wide receiver, though. Let's not, because Quentin Johnson is that big wide receiver. What do they have now?
They got CeeDee Lamb. They got Michael Gallup's second year off an ACL tear, and they just traded for Brandon Cooks. So they got 3 solid wide receivers.
But smaller guys in stature.
Or is Michael Mayer still on the board, or was he taken?
No, wasn't he taken?
Or was he taken by the Bucs?
He was taken.
Oh, that's right, by the Bucs. Yeah,
by the Bucs. Yeah.
Okay.
So
it's a tough one.
I mean, because you're right about Miles Murphy. I'm thinking about it. I was just thinking Quentin Johnson, number one, because he's TCU, Texas boy. And now, or do we do Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech?
That's another one, yeah. Tyree Wilson's another one. Are they looking for a pass rusher or run stopping more on the defensive side?
Being at our division, thinking about that, teams are balanced for the most part between the run and pass, but everyone does like to run, so you want to take away that run. Look what we do. Look what we have done.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at what we've done defensively, when we stack up the interior, that's saying that, you're not going to run on us.
Yes.
So, it makes sense when you say Miles Murphy because he does play the run. I'm not saying Tyree Wilson doesn't. So, tight end,
they lost Dalton Schultz in the free agency.
Yeah, they did. So they're open at that tight end.
No, because I want him. Fuck.
Oh, that's right, Darnell. I forgot about Darnell Washington. Coach, I think they're going to take him. I think Dallas is going to take Darnell Washington. I think they're taking him. If I remember, I'm taking Darnell Washington.
No, take Sam Laporta.
Take Luka Musgrave.
Luke Musgrave, yeah.
Or Tucker Kraft.
Take Darnell Washington.
No, take Tucker
Kraft. Darnell Washington.
I have
Kraft in that offense.
No, they're going to go with that wide receiver, like Coach said, Quentin Johnson.
Yeah. Steven, tell me more about Quentin.
Dak made somebody throw the ball to it. If you got Quentin Johnson over the middle while you got CD taking the top off while Brandon Cook's already waiting in the end zone, we're going to have a win game. We're going to win games with that.
Steven, get my medicine.
So, Jeff, really quick, what'd you guys do in the end of pick and roll when I had to leave?
We just sat there in silence for the last hour and did nothing.
No, because when I went back, you guys, there was names in the chat. And I'm like.
Oh, by the way, Coach, Mitchell Robinson is a damn stud. That dude is a stud at that center position for the Knicks. He's a stud. I had to throw that out there. I love that kid.
Knicks were up by 16 points. I know they're up by 16. So But now, boy! First of all, thank you to the 5 that are still here in the chat. I really appreciate you guys supporting and listening in. I couldn't be doing this without any of you guys. You guys on the chat. I mean, on the panel. Thank you also. I really appreciate everybody's support. So, but. Now that I think about it, yes, I love the intrigue about Darnell Washington. He can help in their run game. He can still also help in the pass game. He probably would be so beneficial to Zach right there, right up the seam, and so much more. I'm trying to talk myself into going in defense, but I have to do it. and it scares the crap out of me. Yeah.
Hi, hello, and welcome back to the.
Oh, that was interesting.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Look at RJ Barrett.
And with the 26th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Darnell Washington, tight end out of Georgia. And for the record, I did see a report that there's a possibility that 4 tight ends can go in the first round.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So next on the clock is the Buffalo Bills, and they need help on the defensive side, it's saying, but
there's rumors they want a wide receiver. Yeah,
exactly.
There's rumors they want a wide
Is Quentin
receiver.
Johnson a good fit over there? That's the question. Is he a good fit? Because they do kind of like those little. They like quick wide receivers. So with Darnell Washington, Quentin Johnson. Sorry, he's a force at 6'4", 215. Your vertical route tree, X wide receiver. For his college career, he averaged 18.8 yards per game. He looks like a wind-up toy coming off the line of scrimmage with his high knees kicking into high gear, challenging cornerbacks every snap to be on their A game or strode away. He's the most prototypical X skill set in the draft. Plant him on the outside and make safeties have to account for him every snap.
You know why I think it'd be good? Because you can have Diggs play the wide receiving position, and he could be the guy that could go over the middle. And you have Gabriel Davis, who I believe is going into the last year of his rookie deal. And you could put you can have Quentin Johnson be that X receiver who he could play on the outside and be that over the top guy, and then Diggs can control the middle. Got to be Quentin Johnson.
He has speed too, so it's not like he doesn't. So
wow, the Knicks are only 17.
Yeah. So guess what? That's what I'm sending in.
Get up the pipeline. Yep.
That's definitely going to be cooking in the cook pot.
Oh yeah.
And with the 27th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select wide receiver Quentin Johnson, TCU. Next on the clock is the Cincinnati Bengals.
By the way, Coach. Yes. Maybe you should curse off RJ Barrett more, because now the dude is shooting unbelievable in this game.
Yeah, I know.
I know. O-line for the Bengals. O-line. Anybody?
Would they go center? Would they dare go center here?
DeJuan Jones as a tackle is there, rated 31. Interior offensive line. I think it's going to be what's his name from? John Michael Schmitz.
I think they go Schmidt. I think that's the guy.
You think he goes
anything to have that O-line? Anything.
They need to protect Burrow, and they're a little weak in the interior offensive line. They did get Orlando Brown from the Chiefs, but I do believe they need interior offensive line. So I do believe they would go center here, and I think the answer would be a John Michael Schmidt or a Luke Weipler, or even a Joe Tippmann.
Yeah, I think a Luke Weipler potentially, but you're right. Schmidt's definitely there.
Schmidt's got to be. I think they go with Schmidt here.
Okay, there we go. You talked me into it. So Cincinnati needs a lot of offensive line help.
Offensive line,
Buffalo. Okay, I got you, Philly. So here we go. The ticket goes in.
Burrow will be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just picked up his 5th-year option too. Yeah.
Hit that like button.
With the 28th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select center John Michael Schmidt, Minnesota. Lou would have a shit fit.
Yes, he would. Oh my God, Lou would be. You will hear Lou yelling all the way down from Kansas City.
Yes. Yeah. Next on the clock is the New Orleans Saints. They need guard, center, and defensive line cornerback.
I think they're going center too. I think we're going to get back-to-back picks, and I think they're going to go with Joe Tippmann.
You would think they would really go that low.
Yes, I think they're going to want to go center as well. They're going to want to protect their Derek Carr, and I think they're going to want interior offensive line help. I do. And I think they're going to want to get a center in the middle of that offense, because I think their centers are a little weak. And you got elite centers right there. So I do believe they could go center. Steve Avila, because he's a guy that could play guard and center. So he's like you're a guy that's interchangeable overall. I don't know how like you feel, Coach, or Randy or Mitch, but I think a guy like Steve Avila would be a perfect pick for that offensive line interior. Or Saints could go corner. That's a good point by halftime.
That's what I was thinking too.
Like a Cam Smith or a Tyreek Stevenson or a DJ Turner. Clark Phillips.
Guess what? They have
the idea of a center.
They have Lattimore.
So guess what? Because they have pick 29 and pick 40. So no matter what they do in that, whether it's interior offensive line, and then they can come back in 40 because Cam Smith is actually rated in at 41 if he's there, but you also have Tyreek Stevenson and DJ Turner. So you still have quality cornerbacks available. So right now I'm kind of looking at the interior of their offensive line, and Avila, it can play both guard and center, but you can bring him in to start at guard, and if you need to, bump him over to center. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with Steve Avila as an interior offensive lineman.
Yeah, I think this is the sweet spot when you start seeing those interior offensive lines start going.
This also push up trades. And with the 29th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, this New Orleans Saints select guard Steve Avila, TCU. Next on the clock is the Philadelphia Eagles. And your first pick, we already talked about. You took the safety.
Yeah.
So, all right, is Mitch still there?
Yes.
Guess what?
I want all of it TV.
You're on the clock. What do you want? You know, it's saying wide receiver, guard, the interior defensive line, but you guys know more. So you can talk with Randy if you want. So
why am I leaning towards Luke Van Ness, even though we do have Derek Barnett?
I want Tyree Wilson because in the end, Brandon Graham's going to be gone. Luke Barnett's only on a 1-year deal. So
Eagles fans. Bijan could go top 10 in the draft, and interest is real for the Eagles to pick the Texas running back at 10.
I told you.
Mitch.
It might happen, but gotta wait for tomorrow. So I'm going with Randy here, Tyree Wilson.
Okay. So we're going to send the ticket in to the commissioner.
Okay.
And with the 30th pick in the 2023 draft,
Randy doesn't look like he likes that pick.
The Philadelphia Eagles select defensive edge rusher Tyree Wilson, Texas Tech.
Like at halftime?
No, Randy had that sad look when you made that pick.
Philly says Philly halftime see what a trade is.
Oh, okay.
All
right. For the final pick in the first round, we have the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. The same wide receiver, same defensive line. They have their pick of it. I've always heard that it's going to be a wide receiver. And guess who I know?
Yep, there it is.
I've heard that that they've looked at Zay Flowers as wide receiver if he's there. And I think personally, if he is there, which he is, they can't get to the podium fast enough. But guys, talk to me. I mean,
no, it's Zay Flowers. There's been rumors all over the place about Zay Flowers. They lost Hardman. They lost Hardman in the offseason. I do believe they're going to want another wide receiver because Kadarius Toney played well for them towards the end of the season. But we know Toney, the dude can't stay healthy. And they want probably a number one receiver with speed. And he fits exactly what Tyreek Hill used to do in that system. I think Andy Reid would have a field day with him. I'm going Zay Flowers. I don't know how you guys feel.
All right, Randy?
Yeah, I totally understand, more weapons for Patrick Mahomes just spells issues for defenses. But, I mean, in the end, when they are sitting on the sidelines, they do need the defense to be out there, and the Chris Joneses and the Willie Gays are getting older. So,
good point.
I'm looking at the board here, and I see some pretty good studs for edge rushers, and as much as I would say, Zay Flowers is pretty, like again, the wide receiver room is pretty deep this year. So, what's staring at you in the face sometimes, might be hitting you in the face because you should take what you got.
What's up, Big Vinnie Mac? Thanks for checking in, man. I really appreciate you.
Hey, Juice.
What's up, Juice?
All right. Well, what about you, Mitch? What's your thoughts?
I honestly thought Zay Flowers would go early. I didn't think he would last all the way up here.
Not in this draft, homeboy. We're real over here.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
And Zay Flowers to the Chiefs.
We're the realest mofos in
He
here.
says H Flowers, okay, and they don't have any trade offers on the table.
Wow.
I feel what
Reed?
Randy is saying in terms of the defensive guys that are getting older, but that offense that I just can't. Andy Reid is just going to say a new toy to play with. I just really see him saying that, and it's Zay Flowers makes so much sense to that offense with what he brings to the table, the speed, the ability to move him. You can play him inside, outside. He's not really that bad of a pass catcher as most people think. The boy can catch, and he can catch with his hands. He can high point the ball. And will he end up being another Tyreek Hill, but more dynamic? I mean, that's a scary thought. And then you're pairing him up with Patrick Mahomes
and Kelsey,
and even Tony,
and our guy Isaiah Pacheco.
Isaiah Pacheco, yeah. So that's scary, and it's like, but I'm also looking at Van Ness and Miles Murphy, and I'm just like,
yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that defense does need help, but Andy Reid is an offensive-minded coach, so I'm going with what I feel. Zay Flowers.
Okay.
And with the 31st pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs select wide receiver Zay Flowers, Boston College, and that'll conclude the first round. So just to go back over this real quick, we had Bryce Young go number 1 to the Panthers, C.J. Stroud go number 2 to the Houston Texans. We had a trade and the Detroit Lions ended up on the clock. They took defensive tackle Jalen Carter. Colts took quarterback Anthony Richardson. Seahawks took defensive end Will Anderson. The Cardinals then took cornerback Devon Witherspoon. Raiders took tackle Pete Skoronski. The Falcons took running back Bijan Robinson. The Bears took tackle Paris Johnson. The Eagles took safety Brian Branch. The Titans took wide receiver Jackson Smith and Jigba. The Patriots traded and ended up with Nolan Smith. Green Bay took Dalton Kincaid. The Texans, who traded back, took Kalijah Kancey. If we take a guard, I'm going to propose, the bread.
That is such a juice comment.
The Jets took tackle Broderick Jones. I keep saying the Commanders took quarterback Will Levis.
Call them the Redskins. They're the Redskins.
The Steelers took cornerback Joey Porter Jr. The Lions took Christian Gonzalez. The Buccaneers took Michael Myers. The Seahawks took Osiris Torrance.
What up, Jay?
The Chargers took Jordan Addison. What's up, Jay Lay? Thanks for tuning in, boy. I really appreciate you. Yeah. The draft is almost here, man.
You know it.
The Ravens took Deontay Banks. They're cutting it down now. They're down by 8.
Come on, Knicks.
The Vikings took Emmanuel Forbes.
Yep.
The Jacksonville Jaguars took Darnell Wright. The Giants traded with the Colts, and the Colts ended up taking Anton Harrison. Wow. The Cowboys took Darnell Washington. The Bills took Quentin Johnson. The Bengals took Michael Schmitz. The New Orleans Saints took Steve Avila. The Eagles took Tyree Wilson. And the Chargers took Zay Flowers. Chiefs. So that's how the Chiefs took Zay Flowers. Thank you. And that's how the first
Chargers
round
will be happy to have him too.
Yeah, yeah. So
By the
that's
way,
how
it's
the
not the
first round went.
Cowboys. It's the team down south.
Yeah, the team down south, I wish would get blown up and kicked out of the league. So, but that's how the first round went. This has been a blast. This is, for funs and, yeah, as they say, ish and giggles. So, what do you guys think about that in the chat? Tony Khan has announced he wants to ruin my birthday by having a damn PPV on my day, and all days it's my 18th. Okay, well, happy 18th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Coach, I gotta say this. Congrats to your Knicks. They advanced in the next round.
They haven't won yet.
Yeah.
I just got the alert that they won.
No, there's still a whole quarter to go.
Yeah.
It said end of the fourth quarter on my screen.
No, they still have a
end
whole
of
quarter.
third
That must
quarter.
have been a glitch.
Don't make Coach start popping the champagne yet about moving to the next round.
No, I wouldn't even pop the champagne. So it's like, okay, do it, get it done, and hopefully.
Oh, my bad, because it said end of the fourth, and then it glitched on me.
I'm telling you, Coach,
Yeah.
you should start hating on RJ Barrett more. Since you started saying those negative things, the dude has been playing great basketball. Playing phenomenal lately.
Here, guess what they would do? I think they would do
Pittsburgh.
I think they would do Juwan Jones.
Yeah, they need offensive line.
We took quarterback and wide receiver, so
I think they go Miles Murphy.
Miles Murphy.
You have to.
They're on the clock. They probably would take Van Ness, even though they took cornerback. But do they just look at the interior offensive line?
Don't do it, Coach. Don't do it.
I'm just saying because they have Will Hernandez. They have a lot of, isn't it Billy Price over there?
Oh yeah, I mean, come on. Who needs offensive line help when you got Will Hernandez?
The rating for Van Ness is just too much. And the Giants are back on the clock. And I'm sorry, you know exactly where I was going.
Weipler. Yep. Give me that big boy from Ohio State, or Lou will start screaming all the way from Kansas City.
The Rams are on the clock, and do they do offensive line or Chipman? No. I'm actually gonna look at running back because it says running back. No, it makes sense. Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
Do Gibbs, and they're on the clock.
McDonald, the defensive end.
Yeah, but then we do defensive guys earlier. No, you did offensive guard and Will Anderson. Whoo! Both of them?
I mean, would it be the worst thing in the world to double up when you got that secondary?
No. Yeah, it makes sense now. And the Raiders are back on the clock.
More news. Green Bay may trade down from number 13. Packers could trade Jets number 13 pick from Rodgers trade and draft what you were saying before, Coach. Michael Mayer or Dalton Kincaid.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys were right about that. They look like they're targeting
what I would do?
Mayer.
That's what I was trying to say.
No, you're right.
This makes a whole lot of sense now. Now you can grab the quarterback in the second round and sit him. And I know it's a 9-point read, but I would grab him. I would grab him for the Raiders. It makes a whole lot of sense because you have there.
Jimmy G, yeah.
We already took a quarterback early. Can they take an edge? Well, let me look at the wide receivers. Ooh, Josh Downs. Who do they have over there, wide receivers?
Adam Thielen, DJ Chark, Terrace Marshall. That's their wide receiver core right now. They could use a Downs, maybe even like a Cedric Tillman or Jalen.
No, Downs. Plus, he's North Carolina.
That's true. Downs. Take Downs.
Mm-hmm.
Give him that slot receiver for your young quarterback.
And they took Steven Villa, so they already took interior, so we need defensive line, and Mozzie Smith will go
that's
right
exactly
there.
what I was thinking, Mozzie Smith.
Michigan.
Yay! Yeah, thank you.
Nick's lady's cut down to 6.
I may have changed him. Sorry.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, it don't matter. It don't matter. So let me
Coach is under
see.
respect. God damn you, Mitch.
No, I don't pay that no mind.
No, I know. I'm just kidding.
Let's see. Tank Dell and offensive. They need a tackle. Can you take Munch?
Would they go center by any chance and get maybe Tipman if he's there? They do need interior
Tipman is
offensive
there.
linemen because
Tipman is there.
they released Ben Jones, their starting center. So I don't know.
Ooh, that's in the face.
Excuse me?
No, I was looking at the basketball game. What you call it hit Barrett in the face?
Oh, Jared Allen.
Yeah.
Okay. You go, RJ. Another 20-point game for Mr. Barrett.
But yeah, getting back to this, but the wide receiver, because you have Tank there.
Wait, the Lakers cut the lead all the way to 1?
No, we took wide receiver earlier, didn't I? Yeah, I took.
Yeah, you did. You took Jackson Smith and Jigba.
So guess what? It is going interior offensive line.
Okay.
Or do I take tackle? No, take interior.
I think there's better value, with the interior offensive line rather than the tackle. I think you got to go interior.
Yeah. Pittman is there. Jets already took it, so guess what? They're taking Jack Campbell.
Yeah.
Packers?
No, the Jets. Because Jack Campbell is there and they need the linebacker. I mean, I could look at edge for Uzama because they do need some edge rushers over there too, right, Jeff?
Yeah, they do. Because they have Preston Smith and they got Rashawn Gary, but he's coming off a serious injury.
Yeah.
So they could use another rusher.
I was looking at the Jets. I'm sorry.
The Jets?
Yeah. No, it's my fault. So since it's the Packers,
we also have Dean Lowry, but he's getting old too.
I got one. Brian Brise. Brian
Brise.
That's
what I was looking at now.
He dropped, so.
Yeah, so he would go there, and Jack Campbell or Uzama to the Jets. One of the two.
What the hell are you talking about, Juice?
Campbell.
Yeah, Campbell there.
That's definitely a Salah type player.
Yes, exactly.
They had them take.
Oh, excuse me.
Your excuse.
Skronsky. I think they took Skronsky.
There you go quickly.
No.
I really like that.
I'll take Uzama here.
Yeah.
The Packers are back on the clock, so now you can take safety or tight end. I'm taking Laporta.
Yeah.
Put it off the board.
You double up at tight end?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you have a young quarterback, so that's what I'm looking at. So.
Okay.
I mean, I could have taken Tank Dell, but now they need the edge or quarterback.
What about a safety? What about Jordan Battle? Since you lost Devin McCourty, retired.
To retirement, yeah.
Yeah, but don't they?
Sidney Brown.
Could be Antonio Johnson or Sidney Brown. I'd take Johnson though.
Okay.
Because if you've seen the film on him, man, kid, he's 6'3", to roughly 200 pounds. He does play, like you say, plays underneath, easily carries the ball carrier, draft a punter. Overall grade 81.6.
They got Adrian Phillips and Kyle Duggar though, so I don't know if they want to go the safety because those guys are still young.
But are they trustworthy though to be guys that you could put into that lineup consistently? That's the thing.
Kyle Duggar was pretty darn good last year for them, and Adrian Phillips wasn't no slouch, but he was pretty decent for me.
Who are their cornerbacks over there?
Jonathan Jones, and they have another cornerback. There's another Jones, but I forget his name.
They have Jalen Mills.
Jones, I think, or James Jones.
They have Jalen Mills and Jonathan Jones, Jack Jones, and Miles Brandt.
That's what I'm going to do then. It's going to be Tank. It's going to be Tank.
That's why I have good quarterback.
Yeah, because they got Juju in the slot, so they got that number one receiver they signed.
Yeah, or do we do Jack Sanders?
Because they got Devontae Parker and Kendrick Bourne and Tyquan Thornton as their wide receivers, so they don't really have really good stud receivers.
What about here's a wild card? Oh, I was gonna say Jalen Hyatt, but Tank Dell would be fit the bill.
Yeah, no.
Oh, and they have Juju. Sorry, and they
All
have
right,
Juju.
here's the Washington Redskins. I mean Commanders.
And they're going Sanders.
Yeah.
Well, no, wait a minute. Let me look at the interior. Ooh, nah, it's a little bit too high. I love him though. If you watch his film, he's nasty.
Sevilla. Yeah.
Yes, he's nasty, but
he's a mean boy.
He played with who went to the Panthers last year, and they were
what the heck is his name? Ekwonu. Ekwonu, yeah.
But Sanders makes so much sense.
He does.
Who's their tight end over there?
On who? The Panthers?
Commanders.
Oh, Logan Thomas.
Thompson.
Yeah, Logan Thomas, yeah. Thompson.
But
he's been injured.
You know what? No, but with whatchamacallit on a 1 year, I know we did interior. We did interior earlier with them. What did we do earlier? No, quarterback. So it makes sense for Drew Sanders because Sanders can also come off the edge and play off ball. So
and they need linebacker help.
But also if whatchamacallit ends up fizzing out or you let him go, Sanders can also bump down too. So he can replace
Chase Young.
Yeah,
Chase Young. So
man, I hate seeing 7-foot guys taking 3-point shots like they do.
This is where Cardinals. We took a cornerback early in the first round, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but guess what? I'm doubling down.
Mm-hmm.
But do I do Cam Smith or do I do DJ Turner? Because DJ is a little bit smaller and you can move him inside.
Cam Smith. I would get that cornerback that resembles like a Patrick Peterson because you lost Byron Murphy in free agency.
So two rookie cornerbacks. Okay, 1 and 2. Okay.
Maybe follow the Seattle, what they did with Kobe Bryant and Tariq Woolen.
Yeah, look how good that turned out for him.
Exactly.
I'm going to give them Mott right now. Because I know I gave him Porter Jr. earlier, but give him the tackle.
Cody Mott, I like him a lot.
What's up, Vance? And we gave them a tight end earlier. So,
Who's
this is the Buccaneers.
Yes.
You think so? The edge rusher? Because he led the country in sacks, if I'm not mistaken.
They could use another edge rusher because Barrett is getting up there in age and Tryon it's okay.
He's not good. Not that good. Yeah.
Exactly. They could use another linebacker or another edge rusher.
He looks just like his brother.
He really does.
Man.
He looks exactly like his brother.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll go there. Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
You have a field day with him and Vita Vea.
Oh my God!
Guess what? They're going with. Do I give them the tight end though? Because they did.
Well, didn't they lose Gesicki? Didn't they lose Gesicki?
Yeah, they lost. They lost Gesicki. So
they got Durham Smythe as their tight end, but that's not.
Yeah, they definitely need a tight end. They need a tight end.
Yeah, Miami is all about loving them tight ends.
So Musgrave.
I mean, shoot, Tyreek Hill and Waddle. They need a tight end.
I made the joke with that one, but it just
Who did they draft earlier? McDonald. They already drafted Osiris Torrance and Will Anderson. So right now, I don't need an edge rusher with them. It's interior offensive line.
Yeah.
They got Osiris Torrance.
What about a Zavila? I'm glad you chuckled, Juice. I'm glad you chuckled.
Oh, there's no trade offers on the table either. They have three good quarterbacks. Or do I dare do Jalen Hyatt?
I think they could use a young receiver now because Lockett, as great as he is getting older.
Yeah.
So they could use a young receiver to develop behind Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. I would take a chance on Jalen Hyatt. Put him in there, and that's your speed receiver to take the place of Lockett.
Because they have Noah Fant. They got him in the trade with Denver. So
and you could put Lockett in the slot afterwards if you want. Put Hyatt on the outside.
So this is a good spot for the Bears to. They also signed cornerbacks. No, they signed linebackers. That's
Yeah.
what they signed.
They got T.J.
So-
Edwards and they got Tremaine Edmonds.
Edmonds, yeah.
Yeah.
So Stevenson is a good spot here.
Yes.
Or do I give him Turner?
Turner.
Who would fit better with their system, with Eberflus? Who fits better with Eberflus's defensive system?
Doesn't he like those smaller, twitchy guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Juice. Nobody's forgetting about
Yeah, but-
Lockett. They're not forgetting about Lockett. He's just getting up
No,
there.
you adding. Yeah, you're just adding to it, and he's there when if he's playing another 2 or 3 years, then he just takes over for him. That's all.
Yeah.
And not only that, but also like adding him puts more years on Lockett's tires as well, because then he's not
Exactly.
going to him as much, so he doesn't have to go out and give as much.
Trust me, nobody's forgetting about Tyler Lockett. We all know how
No.
terrific Tyler Lockett is.
So they're pretty much the same height. So
Okay. So yeah.
So Turner's faster. So I'm gonna give him Turner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then here they took wide receiver first, I think.
Yeah, they took Addison.
Yeah, they took Addison. So now I can
Michigan, thank you.
Oh, God.
we'll call
Yeah,
you
right.
for.
Forgot about that.
Pops
Yeah.
right in and he sees that immediately.
So they've already taken that, and
I got a wild card.
ooh, I'm at
BJ
BJ
Ojolari.
Ojolari.
Yep. Coach and I are on the same wavelength. BJ Ojolari.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And who did I
Oh,
get
the
them
juice,
at
that's
first?
not nice. Come on.
Who
Wow.
did I get them at first?
Don't be rude.
Exactly. Don't be rude, man.
I took the tackles, so I can do the edge.
Yeah.
I
I'm
can't
trying to
say
think. Do it.
Yeah.
Do I do a safety though?
What about Antonio Johnson sitting right there? They could
Yeah,
use
that's what
another
I'm saying.
Texas
Because you don't
A&M.
need to run. But do we offset him? Do we offset whatchamacallit, Etienne with Charbonnet?
Zach Charbonnet.
Yeah.
Wait, but they have Travis Etienne, and didn't they? But did they also go to James Robinson? So yeah, you're right.
They could use another running back.
They
That's
could
true.
they could use a big in between.
Yeah, exactly. And he
Charbonnet
still has speed.
back up.
He still has the speed because you could still hit him on outside
Yep.
zones.
Yeah.
Still get him in the
Passes.
flat.
Yeah.
So, but the question is, but do we want to shore up the defense? So,
No, I hear you, Juice. I know they're rivals.
I'm going Charbonnet.
Who's
Okay.
his rival? I'm sorry, I don't know.
He's a Michigan State fan.
Now the Giants are
Oh.
back on the table. And the first time, I think I took took Luke Weipler. I'm looking at either the linebacker or wide receiver.
I'm going wide receiver. Cedric Tillman.
And nope. You know me better than
No, I
that.
know. I know where you're going. You're going Mingo. Jonathan Mingo.
Mingo.
Yeah.
I'm going Jonathan Mingo. I'm sorry.
I know you are. I know
The
you are.
Cowboys are on the clock. And the first time we took the edge with them, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they could take
No,
Antonio
the tight
Johnson.
end. They took the tight end. Yeah.
I think they could go with Antonio Johnson from Texas
Yeah.
A&M, local kid.
Mm-hmm. The Bills are on the clock. And the first time, I should have wrote this down. Quentin Johnson. So, do I take him though?
They lost Edmonds. They could use another inside linebacker at this point. They
But
could.
Benton is that dude too.
Yeah.
They have a lot of
Benton
depth.
is
They
that-
have a lot of depth at that defensive tackle position, but I guess you
All
could.
right. No, you're right. I'll go with that. So guess what? He's going to the Bengals then.
All right.
Nice.
Bengals.
Bang.
Bengals.
And now the Bears are on the clock again. Well, these
Screw
are
it.
the last 3 picks.
I'm taking either the defensive end or I'm taking the wide receiver Tillman. You got Claypool on a 1-year deal, and
Yeah.
Mooney, I believe, is on the last year of his deal too. You get a
And
stud
what's
wide
his name?
receiver, another receiver for Justin Fields.
But you
Another
also
playmaker.
got what's his name from Carolina in the trade too, right?
DJ Moore, yup.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go corner, but you want to go double up at corner.
No.
They have Cole
I was
Kmet at
just-
tight end too.
No,
so
I was just thinking about the running back because A Chain is
they could because they let
he's
Montgomery leave.
speed. That's
got-
that
they got-
speed.
They do have Khalil Herbert though, who I believe they're going to give the rock
Okay.
to.
But he's been injury prone though.
That's true. That's a good point.
No, but I do like the fact about Cedric Tillman. I do like that there. I do.
I like Tillman
All right,
a lot.
I'm giving this back to you guys. So
running back.
Well, thank you, Coach.
Oh, you're going right. So which running back do you want?
I'm
bringing up the running backs. Hold on.
Okay.
There you go.
Ooh. Mitch isn't it your guy? Isn't your dad a Tulane guy, Mitch?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Jay Spears.
Do you want to take Spears? Do you want to take Spears at the bottom of the second round at 62?
Not really, no.
He'll last to the third.
He'll last to the third? Okay, so then we're not going to – are you still going to stay with running back and double up? Or
no.
Bro, Mitchell Robinson's got 10 offensive rebounds. 10. That is insane. 10 offensive rebounds for Mitchell Robinson tonight.
What has gone on with the Cavaliers front court?
I'm sorry, Coach, but I had to bring that up. That's astonishing.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Because he's killing them there. So
yeah, and he's got 3 blocks and 2 steals. Sorry, I just throw that out there.
Let me
scared me. It's like, what's going on? Is there a fight?
Sorry, I'm sorry. I saw that. I'm like, wow.
Jeff's gonna kill me for this, but Randy, do you?
I was the interior coach. Yeah, I was. And
I'm not getting pissed.
And Chandler with, like I said, with Jeff Stoutland. Yeah. Let's get, because we're eventually gonna need them because the older guys are gonna get older here, and we don't know what's gonna happen after the next couple of years. So yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
So the Chiefs are on the clock. We took Zay Flowers earlier, and guess what? They have to get some type of edge rush or. But let me look at the interior too, because I want it to be fair. Ooh.
What?
Kobe Turner is there.
Yep.
Oh man. And do you take the edge rusher? Did Clark? Is Clark going from over there? Frank Clark?
Oh, that's not cool.
I don't know if he's there anymore.
I think so.
Oh, but oh my gosh, what you call it is just. I mean, he's not big. He's just fast. They say 6'3". No, he's more like 6'1".
Yeah, Clark's not here. It's Kalofkis, Chris Jones, Nick Bolton, Willie Gay, Jalen Watson.
Oh, I love Kalofkis.
They have Kalofkis, so guess what? It's either Kobe Turner or do I dare Siaka? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Siaki Ika.
He's a run stuffer. Yeah, no, if you've seen him, yes.
Yeah.
He's small and quick, and he's big, powerful, and he just eats up double teams, and he would help Jones.
Love him.
And he would help Jones.
Yeah.
And Jones doesn't need much help, so yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Spags would have a field day with him.
All right, how badly you gonna give my draft? Come on. Oh, you're not gonna grade me. Okay. Well, guess what? I'm gonna save this till later.
Hard to believe that is the day before the draft. You damn right, Levance.
Right.
You know it. Nick Bolton is a star and a future Hall of Famer. That's really high praise for Bolton.
Okay.
All right, John Morant. All right, Moja.
All right.
Oh, did you see him dunk on LeBron?
Yeah, that was pretty nice. He also called apparently D'Lo too small.
I mean, he is.
I'm going to put this here, or we're just not reading the text.
Is he bigger than Ja?
I think so. Him and Desmond Bain have combined for 48 points in this game so far.
Documents.
About time Bain has come back alive.
No, Bain was great in game 5 and game 4.
I was talking about game 3.
Oh yeah.
All right.
He
So
struggled throughout the series.
I will post that later. All right. So, guys, I can't thank everyone enough for this, man. You guys have been phenomenal. Thank you all. Nothing but much love and respect to all your teams tomorrow. Happy draft day. Make sure you get plenty of all your food, whatever you want to drink. Sit back, chill, jump on all the different streams. I'll be jumping from here to there. I know the Big Blue Crew, NYG 22, Lou, Pat, Mac, Randy. They're all in St. Louis. I mean, Kansas City.
Oh wow, Randy, you're in St. Louis?
No, no.
There's another guy. There's another.
I know. I thought you meant like the Randy here. That's all.
No. The other Randy who's a Giants fan. So
yeah, you mean Rodney?
Rodney. Sorry, I said Randy. Rodney. Sorry.
Yeah, that's why I got thrown off a little. I'm like Randy.
No, you're right.
Randy.
But, they'll be. I know they're gonna hit me up because we'll probably do something beforehand. So pay attention to my channel. So we'll be doing something, posting it, and then I'll be jumping around with everyone, into everyone's live streams,
jump around
spaces, yeah. So but everyone have a good time. I hope your team gets who you guys are looking for. I hope my Giants trade back. And get Jonathan Mingo somewhere in there. But
what time does the draft start? Is it 7 or 8?
8 o'clock, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, we're going live at 7.
Yes, we'll have like an hour to just talk about stuff with the draft. Ooh, what a shot!
Yeah, it's 6 o'clock my time. So yeah.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock p.m. is when the draft starts, but they'll probably have a whole bunch of things dropping before. They went on a 12-0 run.
Damn, and Cleveland is now 8 points down.
Yeah. This game was just like a 2-point game a second ago, and now it's all the way back up to 11. Now they just hit another 3. Now this Archuleta just hit a 3.
Oh, you're watching the Lakers. Okay.
Yeah. This was literally a 2-point game 2 seconds ago, and now they're all the way back up by 14.
Easy. See you, bro.
All right, so Jesus, thank you for tuning in. When there's Juice, Levance, who else? Vance, Big Mac,
Normal guy,
Philly halftime, normal guy, Jay Lay, AK,
Nikki Stees,
yeah. Normal guy.
Mr. Halftime.
Yeah, AK. That's pretty much it. Looks like.
Yeah.
Am I forgetting the next? Randy's here.
I'm here.
Jeff is there.
That's there.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, you guys, Jeff, Randy, Mitch, thank you all.
No problem, Coach. Anytime.
Yeah. So just so you guys know, I'm going to be. Mitch did the premiere for his interview. I got more coming. I know I got they just did the show today, so I'll be doing the video. I also have a great interview with thank you. With hello Ed. Big Dash. Oh my gosh. Oh, no memory. So I got a great one. You really get to know Big Dash and get a feel for him. Great dude and everything that he brings to the table. And I got more interviews. Don't be surprised if I reach out to some of you guys, whether you're in the chat or in the panel, and interview you and put you out there. So, that's pretty much it. So, you guys got anything else to add before we close this out?
No.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
I'm sorry.
Get that out of here.
What'd you say, Mitch?
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Fly, Eagles, fly. There you go.
Like cry, Eagles, cry.
So, Jeff, you got anything else, brother?
I'm just excited for the NFL draft. Let's see what kind of craziness is going to happen. Last year we had 2 monster trades. And AJ Brown going to the Eagles, Hollywood Brown going to the Cardinals. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked if this NFL draft has more trades with veterans players being moved to different teams. We
I
had it
think
last
there's
year.
going to be a
We'll have it
trade
this year.
before the draft starts. I think there will be a big one right before the draft starts.
I'm going to throw a wild card out there, and you guys might think I'm absolutely nuts when I say this. Stephon Diggs.
Wow.
Stephon Diggs. He's been complaining about
Yeah,
maybe
he's
wanting
been
out.
complaining about it. I can see that.
I could see a Stephon Diggs potential move.
That's deep.
That's
deep.
throwing it
I
out,
wasn't
throwing it
expect
out
that.
there. Throwing
To
it out
where?
there, coach.
Where do you think?
I don't know where, but I could see a Stephon Diggs type move. Just throwing it out there.
Well, thanks for having me on today, Coach. Really appreciate it. It was fun.
No, it's my pleasure. Thank you again, like I said, for tuning in, guys. So
Thank you,
it's going to
Coach.
be it. Thank you again. So it's been fun this year doing all these mock drafts. So, again, going next year, it's going to be more exciting. Plus, once I really learn more about, these technological stuff, hopefully I can be a lot better. And, maybe one day I can be a Todd McShay out there, and we can all be out there having that type of impact on the draft. So
just wait. Right after the NBA Finals, my NBA mock draft should start.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, yeah, I got to get on my P's and Q's and start studying. So,
Me too.
but that's about it. I'm sorry. What was you?
Knicks are less than a minute from closing out the series.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. So, but that's it. Thanks again to everyone. I really appreciate you guys. So, everyone have a good night, and I'll see you guys, most of you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Mm-hmm. Yep. See you, Coach. See you guys.